Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending your time zone. Today we'll be discussing the deification of Jesus Christ. Deification is the process of making a human being or anything to become God. The process of glorifying a human being or anything to attain the level of a deity. This applies to so many fields in life, not only religious field. Celebrities, football celebrities can be deified, music celebrities can be deified, political figures can be deified. So many human beings have been raised to the level of idolization. A lot of their followers have idolized them and made them to attain the level of a deity. So today we'll be looking at how Jesus have been raised to that level. As I said, so many other people have been raised to the level of attaining godlike figure. But why we want to look at the deification of Jesus Christ is because Jesus Christ was not only raised to the level of being a deity, but he was made equal to the Creator God. So his case is quite different from other human beings that have been deified. You see? So the deification of Jesus Christ was made possible by the Roman Empire specifically. But before diving into how the Roman Empire deified Jesus through their councils, we will want to look at the Bible deification of Jesus Christ. And when we look at the Bible deification of Jesus Christ, starting from the Old Testament, we discovered that the Old Testament did not in any way equal Jesus Christ to the Creator God. You can do your research, you can read your Bible, specifically the Old Testament. There is no way and there is nowhere in the Old Testament that Jesus Christ was raised to the equality of the Creator God. What we can see in the Old Testament was the announcement of the coming of a Messiah. But announcing that a Messiah is coming doesn't equal him to the Creator God. And Jesus Christ, throughout his teaching, did not equal himself to God the Creator. Instead, he established a large gap between the Son and the Father. This topic is going to have part 2, and in part 2, we are going to cite Bible chapters and verses where Jesus clearly and vividly taught his followers, his disciples, that the Father, Creator God, is different from him, that he is the Son and he was sent by his Father to come and teach the people the right path to his Father. And in the process, we are also going to cite Bible chapters and verses that contradicted the teaching of Jesus Christ. That is where the deification of Jesus started to assert itself into the Bible. Since we did not and we could not find any chapter or verse in the Old Testament that equalized Jesus to the Creator God, then we moved forward to the New Testament. And if you come to the New Testament, there are gospels that are called the synoptic gospels, which is Mark, Matthew, and Luke. These are the first three books of the New Testament. These first three books are called the synoptic gospels because they gave the same account of the image of Jesus Christ. They gave the same definition of whom Jesus is. What was written in Mark about Jesus is repeated in Matthew about Jesus, is repeated in Luke. The same thing. And that is why it's called the synoptic gospel. Then, if you move forward to John, that's where some ambiguous statements. I say ambiguous statements because it is not explicit. It is not explicit. It is not explicit in the sense that it did not clearly say that Jesus and the Father are equal. And it is ambiguous because a lot of meanings can be read into it. Those verses like I and my Father are one can be defined in so many ways, can be manipulated into different meanings. So John and some verses in the Acts of the Apostles is where ambiguous deification of Jesus. When I say ambiguous and when I say that the deification of Jesus started in John and Act of the Apostles is because in these two books is where they started attributing, giving Jesus the attributes of the Creator, where they started giving him attributes like the omnipresent, omniscience, omnipotent, and all attributes that is only attributed to the Creator God. These things started in John, Act of the Apostles. But the three books that defined whom Jesus is, that that is the book that that talked about the teachings of Jesus himself, those things he taught his followers, did not in any way equal Jesus to God, the Creator. Rather, those books, those three books, define Jesus as a prophet, as a rabbi, as a teacher. So, if you look at the Bible very, very well, and I challenge you to point out for me chapters and verses that clearly say that Jesus is equal to the Creator God in the Bible. It is a challenge. And I want you, after listening to this, my talk, I want you to share it with those people that you consider to be your superiors in your religious organizations. So you will hear their own opinion concerning what I have said here. And I want you to do your research and point out for me in the comment section where it is explicitly written that Jesus is equal to the Creator God. So moving forward, since we cannot explicitly figure out or find in the Bible where it is written that Jesus is equal to God, God the Creator, but we can find out chapters and verses where it is clearly written that the Son is quite different from God the Creator by Jesus himself, which we are going to read in the second chapter of this topic. So, and also in the second chapter, we are going to be diving into how the Roman Empire defied Jesus, because they are the main people that defied Jesus, not the Bible. Thank you very much and remain blessed. I am Ife Snatchin Uroko.